Why, hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Electronics Geek video. I am your favorite geek. Okay, enough of that stuff, right? Hey, today is just a hopefully a short video. If it's not a short video, I apologize. Sometimes I get a little long-winded, get sidetracked, fall off the rails, and forget what I'm doing. But I always reel myself in eventually. In case this video turns out to be a little lengthier than anticipated, for that I do apologize. Maybe I could do some post-production magic. Maybe you'll suffer. We'll find out together, shall we? This is just hopefully a quick video, or I should say an update video, status update of myself. Where is I? What's going on? Why ain't any videos posted? Why aren't you watching my videos on time? Etc., etc., etc. Well, as most of you know, I've been extremely busy the last 4.5 months working on swapping offices with the wife, which I've at the end product is going to be absolutely fantastic. You tired of looking at my wall? Here, look at my door. But, gosh, let me tell you, in all actuality, what a PIA. This thing has definitely been a trip in Haiti. How's that? Everything about it has fought me. Everything. So, it's been a challenge, but the good news is I'm winding down. Are you tired of looking at my door? Here, look at my floor. I know, 3 minutes into this video, let's roll on, shall we? Here's my big head. And yes, let me apologize for the shaky cam. I am shooting this on my cell phone because at this moment I'm not 100% set up. I'm not ready for prime time. Status update, what's going on? Project is winding down. I've put up all of my tools, well, my saws and chop saws and table saws and all that good stuff. That's put up. Just got my drills out. I got another small assembly project I need to do. Otherwise, it's now cleanup time and stick everything where it belongs. So that's where I'm at now. Still very hectic. And, hey, some door action. Check that out. Man, that's mighty fine grain that door's got. All right, enough tripping on the door. So getting everything put in place, and that's still a time-consuming adventure. And this is why I really haven't been up on everybody's videos or able to watch them when they're posted. Some of you post once every couple of weeks, and that works out fantastic for me. Others, multiple times a day. That is not very conducive for me. So for those of you that I haven't been able to watch your video, can't get to your video, please understand. I just don't have that kind of time allowance. So, you know, I appreciate the support you offer me, and I'm trying to give it back. But at this time, like I said, time is not very conducive. I watch them when I can. And this is one reason why I have not been able to post any new videos like an update on the Radio Shack radio I'm doing, because I just don't have the kind of time to sit down and edit a video. I barely have enough time to watch yours. I watch a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the evening as I'm winding down, just prior to bed. I allot myself 30 minutes before going to bed, and about the same in the morning, and that's it. So I try to, but you know, I just can't. Anyway, enough of blabber. Let's move on. The meat of the act. All right, so pardon the clutter. Like I said, still wrenching on things. I'm gonna put you in suspense, kind of a tease my workbench. I think my workbench turned out kind of gnarly. I liked it. Video cabinet, still not assembled. Video cabinet will not be assembled until later down the road. Same story with stereo cabinet. I'm going to take this opportunity, as I stated in my first update video, to go through all the components and general service them as I go. I got the time, I got everything tore apart. Why not? My desk is slightly different. By that meaning, I got a different radio up there. I've been I've been cycling through my radio collection the best I can. I'm finding in this position here, radios that have the knobs on this side for tuning is a rather big challenge for me. Very not conducive. Unfortunately, this radio or a radio up here is not going to happen, and we'll explain with a visual in a moment. Everything's the same except for this new monitor. As you know, last time I had a small 19-inch monitor. Now I've got this monitor, which I think is a 26-inch. I could be wrong. I don't remember anymore. Bought that about 2 months ago, and that has been working out splendid. Not watching many videos on this monitor. Everything's on this monitor. As you can tell, this one's darker, this one's brighter, this one is freaky deaky awesome. Not so much awesome anymore. We'll explain in just a moment, maybe, if you're lucky. For those of you that hang around my channel for camera reviews, please keep on standing by. That will happen. I have 2 cameras. I have this camera, point and shoot, and a video camera that I just recently shot some video on a trip, and I'll be demoing that as well. Some of you who subscribe to Lucky Larry know that I had the opportunity to go visit and did just that. Had a fantastic time. Larry is a super duper cool guy. Chubby was awesome. Of course, Chubby is his dog. Let's clarify that. And that was a weekend runaway trip for the wife and I. So I did some video off of that camera, and off the mobile cam. So I will have a whole plethora of trip videos coming up just as soon as I could edit and get them posted. Printer is still the same. As stated, my 19-inch monitor was there. It's now currently on the floor. Why is it on the floor? We'll explain here in just a moment. You see a rather large TV in front of it. This is explanation for that. I actually have 2 rather large TVs to work on, this being one of them. This is humongous. I think it's 43-inch or something like that. This is a future video project. This TV powers on, but that's it. It gives black screen, nothing more. So I'm hoping that I can fix it and resurrect the TV. If so, that TV will become my primary monitor. That will be retired. I bought that brand new in 2009, and I've only had to repair it 1 time. That's right, a bad case of the E-caps. Second TV that is big is slightly larger than that, I believe. It's an older TV, weighs a ton. Flat screen TV, but weighs a ton. 2 people. Heavy. All right, boys and girls and boys of all colors and creeds and all that good junk. Moment you've been waiting for. The meat of the act, that's right. Too deep into this video for this. My workbench. Okay, here we go. Ready for the oohs and the ahs. Ooh. Ah. Oh. I'm hitting junk. Can't go back further. We'll start high. And we'll work low. That is my new workbench. And as you can see, I still do not have enough room. Originally, some drawings that I drew, it was going to look like this. The TV/monitor was going to go in here, and by the way, the 19-inch monitor that was on my desk that's on the floor is going on my workbench. I was going to have shelves on either side, but when I got to this stage, I thought, you know what, that's kind of retarded. Let's just make that one solid and put the TV over there. And that's what that's all about right there. That just came in today's mail. My very first video on that camera system. I'm going to review that. And that's what that's all about. Got my primary camera out. And I'm very much looking forward to using my primary camera, for it's been put up, and I've been using other cameras, mainly my cell phone, that one, or that one, which is identical to that one. So let's take it from the top, shall we? Up top you see about half of my radio collection. Some have been shown on screen, others have not. Future video. That's just a temporary placeholder until I can get them put up in my closet. I gotta organize my closet. Up top is going to be speakers and chemicals and some tools and junk like that. This was not supposed to be this jam-packed. Not at all. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, it turned out that way. I was actually supposed to have some, shortwave radios, a police scanner, and other radios as such. I was going to have a full-size console up here. Just did not happen. So the reason for the shortwave and the scanner is not only to listen to, but also for working on radios. It becomes a monitor at that point in time. I'm not going to get into none of this in detail. This will all be a future video. But for those of you that like looking at gear, such as I do, here you go. TV/monitors going up here. Was going to have a computer on the desk. That's not going to happen. Computer is now going to go in this pocket. This arm is going to allow the TV to hang out of the hole, which is great because then I could aim it to wherever I need to and see it. The TV is going to do multiple duty. Not only will it, well, I don't watch TV, but in the event of working on DVD players or VCR players, I can now monitor, I don't know why I'm pointing to that, I can now monitor my video source off of that. Same is true with any video cameras that I'm working on or need to review. I can now monitor off of that. TV also has HDMI ports, so the HDMI ports will allow me to connect my cameras into it, so I can now monitor what they're viewing and ensure that I'm in frame. However, that don't always happen. It also has S cable or S jack and RCA and component and composite. So it's a full meal deal, and that's what all these TVs have. When I bought them, I ensured that they were the full meal deal for that very, very same reason. I also need a computer on the table for looking at schematics, surfing the internet, looking at prawn, whatever. So it'll be here, and keyboard and mouse will be over here. Haven't yet bought the keyboard and mouse. I'm buying things as I go instead of just more junk waiting for me in a pile. So that's what that's all about. Bottom down here was supposed to be nothing but parts bins. Oh, what a dream. The only exception to that would have been my irons, my soldering iron, desoldering iron, and my heat gun. Those were going to sit in front of the parts bins and move as I needed. But now I'm glad that in a way that didn't happen, because that really would have been in my way. It's really hard to visualize things in your mind when you haven't seen them. So when they come to life, it's like, wow. You see, my 10 by 11 office here, my new office, in my brain started out to be a 40 by 40 shop. And workbenches were going to be just as large. So yeah, that didn't happen, as you see. All of this junk was supposed to start off on this shelf and work up. Originally, my O-scopes were going to be over here on a pedestal. They were going to be, well, actually under the pedestal, and then on top of the pedestal. I know you can't see it, but right there, is a, what is it, a CB-42 CB signal generator. Full mill deal for the CB. Totally forgot what it was. Then I redesigned and decided to do this right here. Was going to shove it up under here. Had a little issue with my table saw, and I cut these just a fraction too short. Mainly my blade was old and kind of chipped the wood. And it was like, well, do I just throw this away or start new? Each one of these boards is exactly what I'm using for my top shelf. These are 6 foot by 6 foot long, 16 inches deep rather. And they cost me like $16 each. And I ended up for this project $7, and the desk was only $1. So that, as you see, adds up real quick. Just $100 in this wood alone. So I opted to just go ahead and deal with it. And I thought I would just put my device over here if I ever need it. I'm not going to use it often. So it's okay that it's in the closet, and I'll use it when I do. And by the way, that is a future build. So keep watching for that. That'll actually be well, I don't want to say a restoration, but it needs some love. A lot of these need love. A lot of these need some love. So a lot of these will be future projects. All right, for those of you that are interested, here we go. Quickly, that is a Motorola Synad meter. Needs love. We've already seen this in a previous video. That is a Helper Instruments Toner 2. This is a new addition to the Workbench. Needs some love, but it does work. This is a Regency frequency counter from about 1974. If you've got the service manual on this, or you could hook me up, please hook me up. I really would like to have a service manual on this. Seen this in a earlier video. However, we'll be working on that as well. I think it's just going to be a general tune-up, clean the knobs, and check the guts and see how it works. Wanted a bigger stereo here, but this one's going to work. Not only could I listen to the radio, but it's going to offer me input. So when I work on tape decks or I need to shove something through a amplifier, I've got a amplifier right here. Same with the phono. This is my FM signal generator. We've seen this in a previous video. However, when I hooked it up and I ran everything on my scopes and frequency counter, for some reason this was not working. So we're gonna have to tear this down and see what's going on. We've seen this in a earlier video. This is a new item, and I'm really jazzed about this. This is a universal audio generator. We know that because it says so right there. Very cool product. Again, if you have a owner's manual or service manual, let me know. Or have a source for one. I really could use one. I know how it 99% works, but there's a few items about it I don't. Seen this in a earlier video. This is my isolation Variac. We've seen this. However, this is going to be a project. Oops, where's my finger pointing to? Future project. Channel 1 needs some help. Seen this in a earlier demo. Thing works. However, I may tear it apart and just do some cleaning on the controls. I don't know if I want to get that involved, but I would like to tear it apart and see what I have for a tube. I think the tube is getting weak. It's getting dim. It's also why I want to tear it apart, see if I got any leakage or, whatever. By the way, if you've got service manual on either one of these scopes, please, or again, source, or anything that I ask for, please help me out. I would appreciate this. That's what that is. Look for my earlier video, and that's what that is. Over here, we've seen this in a earlier video. However, same thing, hook this up, and for whatever reason now, this is not responding. I don't know, it seems like not sensitive enough, and channel 1, or this channel here, don't seem to be responding properly. So maybe I have a plug unplugged or not. Also, a future video for adding a 10 megahertz input standard reference port clock thingamajigger. You know what I'm trying to tell you. Signal generator. We've seen this when I bought this, and that's that. This is a new addition to the Workbench, and it is very cool. Need to do slight work on this, and we'll talk about that when we get there, but it works, functions. That's awesome. Seen this in a earlier video. This is my DMM. However, just as I was tearing my Workbench down and trying to work on a project, this thing went bad. I'm thinking bad caps. When I got it the first time, I just went through and checked everything out. Everything looked fine, so I only replaced what was needed. This time, I think I'll go ahead and go through and replace all the caps just for GP. And again, double check all the components. Here is a new item to the Workbench. That is a Heathkit O-scope calibrator. Again, we'll need to go through and service that. It works. It's kind of cool. Can't remember, though, if it's tube type or if it's solid state. I opened it one time and checked it out on my O-scope. And then I think I checked it out on my handheld DMM. Buying a lot of this stuff when you tore down, I only had this available, and I had to dig that out, but I had that available. Then I had my frequency counter available. That was really about it. New item to the Workbench. Really excited about this. I need to replace the battery that's in there. I do need to replace the capacitor, the only electrolytic capacitor in there. I need to order that. This is tube type. I need to check the tubes. I think I'm going to check the tubes before I order the cap and just order everything at the same time. I do have the probe for that. We've seen this in a earlier video just prior to going down. My power supply and my digital watt meter. We've seen this in a earlier video. This has only made cameo in some of my videos. This is just here temporarily because I was busy playing with it today, and that's about it. That's going to go back in storage. But it will be a future video. This is new to the Workbench. This is a 3-com communications service monitor. Really excited about that. Does needs a lot of love, but it'll be a great project. Picked this up at a ham swap. That is a 10-11 meter frequency counter. I was playing around with it today and found that actually goes down to, I think, 1.5 meg. So it would actually cover the whole HF band, now that I'm thinking about it. We've seen this in an earlier video. I do need to calibrate that. Checking it with my new function generator. It's not exactly on par, but that's okay. This is my old function generator. This one will eventually be departing my desktop. My frequency counter, we've seen that in an earlier video. We just announced it. I've never opened it. That thing's working flawless. No issues. My function generator, which I think I've already covered this shelf, so let's forget that. I need to plug in my irons and that, which I think I already said. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. I do apologize for the length of this video. Maybe you'll give me a pass knowing that it's been a couple of weeks since I've uploaded a video. And I've haven't been posting that many here in late, but hopefully soon. As soon as I can get all this junk wrapped up. A couple other things I want to mention real quick. You notice I have a notch here that's done purposely. I have to make every space, every speck in this small room work for me. And that was a lot of the struggle, sitting down and getting into serious, deep thought of where is things going, what's going to happen, future access, future builds, etc., etc. So a lot of thinking going into all this. This notched out area, I'm going to put some hooks up, and I'm going to hang my short cables here. On the other side, longer wall, and that is where my long cables are going to hang. So not a problem. I have big speakers flanked on either side of my workbench. Those will go to my my stereo over there. Up underneath, let me get a light so you can see. Up underneath, I have two 100-watt Sony subwoofers. Right now, temporarily, I have storage. I have a bunch of spaghetti mess up under there I need to control. Right here is I have a Astron 50 amp 12 volt power supply. Weighs 50 pounds, and that's going to go right there. Let me show you. I wanted to show you how I've got this situated. I've got this mounted to the wall using standard gate hooks. That one is attached into a stud. The other one's just into sheetrock. But I use those little plastic molly bolt thingies. And then the gap was done purposely. Generally, you know, you just leave enough room for a cord, but then the head is really challenging to get through. Well, this time I left, I think, a 4.5 gap. I have a power strip back there, and that's where the camera and the lights are plugged into. Let's see. I'm going to turn this camera sideways, so everybody look to the right. And somewhere, I think right there, that is the wall wart for my camera. So I got it just kind of hog tied up there loosely. Tried to do everything where if I need to, I could access it. I still need to straighten this up. Let me adjust my lights. So that twisty is just there temporarily. I have, you know, one of those straps that you wear a badge around your neck. I got one of those for redundancy in case my bracket falls apart. It will catch the camera and it'll dangle. It'll probably hit, but at least it'll be somewhat salvageable. I need to put a lens hood on that just in case that happens, and just for GP. Got a runner up here to save this because I'm anticipating pulling things back and forth, save the paint. The wife made me up this runner. That's really cool. She's going to rims for my lights. All right, I'm running out of time for my video, so I got to end this now. And she's going to make me a dust cover for my camera, because as you see, right there by an air vent. Alrighty, that's it. Do apologize again for the length of this video. Hope you understand. Hope you liked. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And we will be back live hopefully soon. Until then, keep watching the cheesy videos I keep throwing up, my old videos. And I do have a couple old videos that will come in the mix when I do start coming in live. I want to get those posted. All right, guys. Again, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time on this lengthy video, and appreciate wholeheartedly that you stick with me and stay subscribed. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. See ya.